Hi everyone. I'm going to work through this practice test, and all we're doing on all of these is we are simplifying these polynomials. So when I start this first one, it is multiplying, and we'll multiply the 2 and the negative 7 together to make negative 14. I'm going to multiply x to the negative third times x to the fifth. We'll group them by the coefficients and by the common variables, and then I'm going to add negative 3 plus 5, and that gives me 2, so that's x to the second, and then y to the third times y to the negative 6. We add exponents. 3 plus negative 6 is negative 3. It says all exponents should be positive, so we're going to rewrite this. The negative 14, the coefficient's okay to be negative, can't change that. We're going to write negative 14x squared over y to the third. So when you have a negative exponent, you just have to get it down below a division bar, and then that becomes a positive exponent. So the second problem is a division, and we will divide the 15 by negative 3, and that is negative 5. And then for division, we subtract coefficients. So c to the 5 minus 2 power, 5 minus 2 is 3. And this one, d to the third over d to the seventh, 3 minus 7 is negative 4. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did here. Negative 5, coefficient's okay to be negative. C to the third, d to the fourth over d to the fourth will be in there. Okay? Let me put a box around all my final answers. Now when you get a problem like number 3, one of the things I think would be a good idea is to, if you have a negative exponent like that, if you flip your fraction and make that a positive exponent, I think that simplifies it. And then that third power, 4 to the third over a to the third, goes to both, and 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. So I'll just write 64 over a to the third power for my final answer there. And the fifth power goes to each factor here, so I'm going to write that out. Negative 2 goes to the fifth power, x to the third goes to the fifth power, and y to the second goes to the fifth power. Negative 2 to the fifth power is negative 32, and you can punch that on your calculator, or however you figure that out. But now a power to a power, you take the 3 times 5, you multiply, so that's x to the 15th, and 2 times 5, the power of y is 10 here. Alright, so that's that. Now on 5, 6, that's addition and that's subtraction. When you get to these problems, you are combining like terms. So the 6x squared, let me put a box around the 6x squared, and the negative 4x squared make 2x squared. The negative 7x, I'll circle that, negative 7x and positive 9x. Negative 7 plus 9 is positive 2x. And the constant, the plus 8 and the minus 5, that is plus 3. I didn't box this one, did I? Let's do that here. And I'll put a box around here for that one. Now this next one, we do the same thing. The other thing is this is a subtraction, so that subtraction is distributed to negative 2x squared, a negative and a positive for 3x. That's negative 3x. Negative, negative 1 is positive 1. So we have 4x squared minus 5x plus 6. I just rewrote that one. Let's put a box around 4x squared minus 2x squared, and that is 2x squared. I'll put a circle around minus 5x minus 3x, that is minus 8x, and a triangle around my constants. 6 plus 1 is 7. Now number 7 is the distributive property. It's negative 2a, which is a monomial, times this trinomial. So I'm just going to make the loop. Negative 2a times negative 3a. Negative 3a squared. Negative 2, oh, okay, a little distracted, sorry. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. A times a to the second is a to the third. Negative 2a times negative 11a. Negative 2 times negative 11 is positive 22. A times a is a to the second. And then negative 2a times 20. Negative 2 times 20 is negative 40. And then you still have that a. Now, I'm going to FOIL on this one. So 2x times 3x is 6x squared. First, outside, 2x times 4 is 8x. Inside, negative 1 times 3x is negative 3x. And last, negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. These two are like terms, so I'm going to combine them. So I have 6x squared plus 5x minus 4. And there's number 8. Put a box on it. Okay, number 9. I'm going to do the same thing here. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times 3 is 3x squared. Now we're going to go negative 3x times x. That's negative 3x squared. Negative 3x times 3 is nope, it's not positive. Negative 3x times positive 3 is negative 9x. And then 4 times x is 4x. And 4 times 3 is 12. And now I've got x cubed. 3x squared and negative 3x squared cancel out. Negative 9x plus 4x is negative 5x. And plus 12. 9 is done. Now 10 I'm going to distribute. Then I'm going to distribute again. And then I'm going to combine my like terms. 5c times 2c is 10c to the third. 5c times negative 3c is negative 15c squared. 5c times 4 is 20c. So I've distributed here. I'm going to distribute the 2c across 7c. With 2c times 7c is 14c squared. 2c times negative 8 is negative 16c. Alright, I've got 10c to the third, and that's the only c to the third term I have. Negative 15c squared and positive 14c squared is negative 1c squared. I'm going to go without writing the 1 there. And then 20c minus 16c is 4c. Okay, page 1 is done. 11. This is a kind of a distributive thing too. 6x to the fourth, y to the third, over 3xy. I'm going to simplify that. Plus 12x to the third, y to the second, over 3xy. Let's simplify that. Minus 18x squared y over 3xy. All right. And then let's do each one. 6 divided by 3 is 2. X to the fourth over x. That's 4 minus 1 is 3. Y to the third over y. That is 3 minus 1 is 2. 12 divided by 3 is 4. X cubed over x. That's x squared. Y squared over y is y. 18 divided by 3 is 6. X squared over x. That's x. And the y's cancel. So I don't write that down because they're both y to the first. That's y to the 0, which is 1. So there's my answer there. Alright, this might be the long one of the bunch, but we're going to use long division. My divisor goes out here, 3x plus 1, and my dividend goes underneath, 3x to the 4th minus 5x to the 3rd plus x squared plus 7x minus 2. And if you recall, what did we say? Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. We're going to follow those 4 steps each time. My dividing step, I'm going to take 3x to the 4th divided by 3x. The dividend divided by the divisor. The 3's cancel, and that's x to the 3rd, and I'm going to write it right above this x to the 3rd term here. And then I'm going to multiply. 3x times x to the 3rd is 3x to the 4th. 1 times x to the 3rd is positive x to the 3rd. Now I put that in parentheses so that I can subtract. 3x to the 4th minus 3x to the 4th cancels. Negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6. Negative 6x to the 3rd. Then I bring down the x to the 2nd. Now I'm ready to divide again. And negative 6x to the 3rd over 3x is telling me what I need to do. And negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. X to the 3rd divided by x is x squared. I'll put a minus 2x squared here. So that's negative 6x to the 3rd. 1 times negative 2x squared is negative 2x squared. I will subtract that now. Cancels. 1 minus negative 2 is 1 plus 2. So that's 3x squared. Bring down the 7x. Now I'm going to divide again. 3x squared over 3x is simply x. The 3's cancel. So I'll put a plus x here. X times 3x is 3x squared. 1 times x is x. And it's time to subtract. Those cancel. 7x minus 1x is 6x minus 2. And divide one more time. 6x divided by 3x is 2. The x's cancel. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So I'll put a plus 2 right here. 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times 1 is 2. I thought this was going to cancel out for a second, but it's not. So we do have a remainder. 6x minus 6x. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. So that's our remainder. And I'm going to write the minus here. And I'm going to write 4, which is our numerator. And then my denominator is 3x plus 1. There we go. And then last but not least, number 13. Use synthetic division. Okay, y minus 2. Change that sign. The negative 2, it's positive 2 when it's in the box. And then 1y to the 5th. 0 y to the 4th. This is the y to the 5th. This is the y to the 4th. The y to the 3rd, I don't have one, so that gets a 0. The y to the 2nd, that gets negative 3 for its coefficient. The y, another 0, because I don't have a y, and then the constant is negative 20. Leave a space, and then draw the line. Bring down the first term. 2 times 1 is 2. Add. 0 plus 2 is 2. Multiply. 2 times 2 is 4. Add. 0 plus 4 is 4. Multiply. 2 times 4 is 8. Add. Negative 3 plus 8 is 5. Multiply. 2 times 5 is 10. Add. 0 plus 10 is 10. 2 times 10 is 20. Negative 20 plus 20 is 0. Our remainder is 0 there. Now y to the 5th divided by y is y to the 4th. That's where I start. 1y to the 4th and then work my way down. Plus 2y to the third, plus 4y to the second, plus 5y, plus 10, no remainder. This is my final answer. Okay.